Let cook. Let him cook. Let me cook. Let me cook.
Let me cook, he says.
I was gonna say, bro, that shit still goes fucking fire.
Dude, I love it. Like, I just want to start bobbing my head when I hear it every time.
I mean, that's the whole concept to it.
Absolutely.
So, hey, round two kind of kicked off already.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. Round two starting tonight. Last night was a crazy night. It was the first half was what we expected. I really was disappointed personally. And the reason why I say that is because I really thought I picked out of 32 picks a legitimate, dead on, hit the nail on the head, scoop pick with Bo Nix. But Atlanta, 3 picks before, whatever it was, comes in, swoops in, and says, no, fuck that ManiacBuc. We're going to take Michael Penix and surprise the whole football world.
oh, they did, man. Like, it was, bro. That's something.
Dude, it's
man.
all about. I've seen on social media today too. There's a lot of people questioning that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, bro, that's been a topic of every talking head today and every show. But let's talk about it. We kind of we stopped at the Dolphins pick with Chop Robinson, starting with the Eagles, following all the way through. Like, were you happy with the end of that first the first round?
Look, one thing's for certain and two things for sure. Let me be very clear. I've seen a lot of feedback, specifically with what's behind me and what's on me and what I represent first and foremost are the Buccaneers. So, let's talk about that pick, and then we'll go to another pick because there was only one pick that surprised me after that pick.
Well, hang on. Before we get to the camaraderie and the fandom for a minute, we're talking overall.
Overall, I was surprised to see Carolina. Was it Carolina? Carolina move back into the first. Remember, I told you we were talking yesterday, as a matter of fact, and we mentioned the 3 teams that did not have a first-round pick, and I predicted that one of those teams would move up into the first round to get a player, but I had it wrong because I actually selected Houston, if you remember. But Carolina traded with the New England, not the New England Patriots, but the Kansas City Chiefs. No, the Baltimore Ravens, wasn't it?
No, it was Kansas City, and then
No, it wasn't Kansas City. It was Buffalo. It was Buffalo because Buffalo traded back to Kansas City's pick.
Kansas City and Buffalo had swapped picks.
Yeah.
And
so, honestly, that was a better move for Buffalo, but I really believe that getting that guy help, meaning, Carolina's quarterback, he needs all the help he can get. They really have no weapons over there. They just gave their best defensive player up in Brian Burns, in my opinion. But again, they took our coach from our offensive coordinator from last year. So to be honest with you, they're in legitimate rebuild mode. They just kind of started last year and got off to the wrong foot, and now potentially with this new head coach, they're going to get better. So that was the only surprising news of the last part of the draft that we missed after we went off live.
Yeah, and there was quite a few surprises within that. My biggest one is with you with Carolina, getting back, but it took a speedy wideout, man. Like, you can see they're working at it. But while we're on Carolina, real quick, have you seen the post going around about the owner popping up in that restaurant?
No, I haven't.
So, Panthers owner popped up in Charlotte in some restaurant that had a sign that was trolling them, says let the coach and the GM pick. And they had turned around a few months ago and had criticized him before, so he had popped in with It says criticism, but nobody really says what was said because the owner was not there at the moment.
Ah.
So, I mean, Carolina just seems to be a shit show.
Carolina has been a shit show for the last 6 months to a year, and I think they're going to be a shit show until somebody goes into that office, into that owner's office with that owner, shuts the door and stays in there for about 3 hours, and proverbially takes his ass behind the pole barn so he comes back with a better attitude. Because the type is truly unbecoming. Kind of lagged there for a second. It's truly unbecoming as an owner, and it's shameful because you've got a lot of good players that are really fighting hard to win you championships, and you're bringing in bad news when they want no news and they want fundamentals, and it's just a bad look for the whole organization.
Yeah, and while we're waiting, well, the pick is in for Buffalo, so round 2's officially commenced. But while we're waiting on that, some news came out today, and we're going to kind of shift away from draft, but talk football as well.
Okay.
Players are now going to be allowed to wear the Guardian caps, the protective pad that you see in practice, during the regular season. Well, actually preseason and regular season if they choose. What do you think, man? It seems like the NFL is going to kind of a step up when it comes to everything.
Honestly, I think I look from the visual perspective, I think it looks weird and retarded, and it'll take some time to get used to visually. But ultimately,
the rest of it, we get used to it.
Absolutely. Ultimately, the reason why it's being done are people dying, and they're dying from, head trauma and major injuries and all these dangerous things that come from. As a matter of fact, you want to talk about a player that wasn't even drafted, that had the capability of being drafted in the top 20, but moved into the second round. And there's a few of them. I got 3 of them that I want to point out in a few minutes. But Jackson Powers Johnson was one of those players that really had the talent and the skill level to go in those first 32 picks. And between 17 and 25, there were every one of those teams that could have took a center. Like Dallas could have took a center. The Philadelphia Eagles could have took a center. We took a center. Now,
a lot of people had us taking Jackson Powers over us.
The reason why a lot of teams, and if you don't do your homework on these guys coming out of college, and a lot of this information for this particular player has recently come out in the last few weeks, Jackson Powers Johnson has had a numerous amount of concussions. And that, from a perspective of a guy who plays on the line, in the center of it, he's got one hand on the ball and one hand immediately to protect himself. He takes the most impact out of any player on that offensive line. And that being said, from that perspective, I love the ideology behind these guys being the NFL, making these players safer to be able to do this longer. And not just that, because they only do this for 15 years. They need to be able to stay with their family for 20, 30, 40, 50 years after they get done playing.
With the 33rd pick in the NFL draft, the Buffalo Bills select Keon Coleman, wide receiver, Florida State.
Money. Hey, remember the last wide receiver that got drafted by Buffalo? Can you tell me? Last Florida State wide receiver that got drafted by Buffalo.
Nope.
He caught the national championship touchdown against Auburn. He was a big, tall guy.
Wasn't he that fat one that ended up in Carolina?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name. He kind of reminds me of the other wide receiver.
Hey, you know what's funny about that? That just shows how great of a career he had.
Yeah. He was a bust. He was Kelvin Benjamin.
Yeah.
Kelvin Benjamin. Like in college, like he was a fucking monster in college.
No,
but he never.
I definitely think this Keon Coleman is definitely gonna.
Keon Coleman's gonna be a stud. He's 6'4". His hands, he's caught I think 4 or 5 easy one-handed spectacular catches this year. Just this year. He's tall. He doesn't run a very swift 40-yard dash. Trade alert.
Well,
New England's trade the pick
Well, I was gonna
to the
say,
Los Angeles Chargers.
one of my
Wide
best,
receiver.
one of my best available just came off the board, being Keon Coleman. Now,
I mean, my best available. Real quick, so we can get this in before they're taken. Keon Coleman was my best available.
Okay.
All right. Cooper DeJean and Kool-Aid McKinstry. Those are my top 3 available.
So while I was waiting on you, I did a little bit of homework. You might be proud of me.
Okay.
Wide receiver wise, I did have Keon Coleman second. I got a Donnie Mitchell first.
Yeah.
So
and honestly, they could be going that way. The pick is in, so it looks like they knew. Like, as far as I'm concerned, I think I want to feel like that Keon Coleman pick is forcing them. I would be shocked to see these guys not draft a wide receiver right here. Ladd McConkey.
Ladd McConkey is what? He's my third. He's third on. He's number 3 in the wide receivers for me right now. So
okay. Like, that's a big look. Harbaugh come in and he's made big moves since the day he came in. Like, he is making. Like, I really love that hire by the LA Chargers to bring him in, because if they can keep him from the next 3 to 5 to 7 to 5, 10 years, like, he's going to change that whole organization, and you won't have to worry about, well, man, it's a shame we moved from San Diego, even though we couldn't get nobody in the seats, and now we moved to, he's really going to turn that around.
Look, all I can say is Jim Harbaugh is going to be flipping that whole entire culture out there, man.
Absolutely.
It would not surprise me to see them in the playoffs in the next.
I expect to see them in the playoffs next year, to be honest.
I'll say 2 years. I'll give them 2 years, and then after
you got to keep Herbert healthy.
Yeah, you got to keep Herbert healthy, but they can go far if the chemistry's there. Like, if they can fully pull this together, bro.
I tell you, I'm gonna have, like, to me. Okay, let's hear it.
This is rarefied air for a kicker. We don't usually show up in the second round, so we're all a great pick.
Oh, that's funny. This is. Did you hear that?
Nope. Ladd McConkey.
To the Chargers, and with that 34th pick, and then 2024 NFL draft and Chargers.
That's a good one.
That's a great pickup for them.
That's a really good pick.
Dude, Ladd McConkey is Julian Edelman with speed and height.
I was gonna say, I can definitely see it with the height. He's going to be
a great pick for them. I really like that pick.
He'll be a solid number 2. He's not a number 1.
No. He's going to be he's probably going to be an all-pro slot receiver.
Yeah, if he can get utilized correctly, bro, that could be another Cooper Kupp.
Yeah, dude, like, I comp him to Cooper Kupp. I actually comped him to Cooper Kupp.
I would say Cooper Kupp or Hunter Renfrow.
Hunter Renfrow would be another good comp. Like, he doesn't have crazy speed, but his skill set is through the roof, and that's what gets him all of those plays. Is he knows how he's got field presence like it ain't nothing. His football IQ is high.
Yeah.
I mean, he's running. You've seen that. He's running a crosser, and he stops and turns around once he catches the ball. Like, he knows the momentum of the defenders going that way. So, like, I mean, that's a great example of the football IQ that I was just mentioning.
Hey, what was said about kickers? Missed that.
So he says it was a kicker for the Chargers. He says, "Look, this is a great presence for the kickers. We usually don't show up in the second round."
Yeah.
unless your name's Roberto Aguayo,
Yeah, and that was still rough.
and that was stupid. That's why they don't show up in the second round.
Yeah. So, look, here, kind of what I've been going with while we're waiting on Arizona.
Okay.
I was kind of watching or listening to some stuff today,
Yeah.
and Bill Belichick and Nick Saban, they're kind of their debut in the booth. You know, Nick over there with ABC, and Bill doing his thing with Pat McAfee. I can't wait to see Bill on the Manning cast. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, Bill Belichick
Ooh.
on the Manning cast
Ooh.
on Monday Night Football.
Atlanta
That is going
has
to.
Atlanta
Arizona traded the
traded.
pick to Atlanta. They're going to get edge rusher.
Well, yeah, because they
I
draft.
just saw Matt.
Well, yeah,
Bucknut.
because we'll talk about this. You know, while we're waiting on Atlanta.
I mean, they got Darnell Mooney and Rondell White and Kirk Cousins are their three big signers for signees this season, this off season for the Falcons. So,
but again, you just gave Kirk Cousins $180 million, dog. You really are going through and drafting a 23-year-old fucking quarterback who spent 6 years in college. Screw how long call it experience, call it whatever. But you went ahead and you drafted this dude for what? Just the opportunity because you get a fifth-year option with him?
You want to know? This is my take. I've done a lot of thinking on this. Now, okay, hear me out. Disregard the money, okay? Just push the money to the side for just a second. I mean, it's a major part of the concept, but just push it to the side. All right. Kirk Cousins, coming off a season injury Achilles, right?
Yeah.
Is 36 years old, okay? Maybe. Now think of it this way. How many times can you say as an organization, realistically, being a football fan as long as we have been, we can understand a lot of things, and a quarterback is that guy on your roster. He has to be that guy, and you have to have that guy. Now, if you know a dude is that guy, right, and you're dealing with a coming off of a season ending injury, 36-year-old solid QB who you just really paid decent money to.
Yeah.
What happens if he can't make it through the season? What do? Do you struggle, lose potential players because they lose the fight and don't want to be in Atlanta anymore? Then Raheem Morris is in a pickle to where he almost has to start over a year after he tried to start over, with this organization. So, in my opinion, what I feel like that organization did is they knew Michael Penix was that dude, right? They believed in Michael Penix. And for an organization, that's all you've got to do.
No, and I get that. Yeah. I understand that. But, I mean, maybe you just shouldn't have, maybe you shouldn't have gave $180 million out. Andre Rison, famous football player who is more famous for having his house burnt down by Left Eye.
Yeah, no doubt.
Congratulations to the city of Detroit, home to the Super Bowl and now the NFL Draft 2024.
Hold on just a second. I'm going to go to my GPS real quick. I got to give an address to a friend. Excuse me.
Yes, sir.
Sorry about that.
Okay. I mean, I ain't mad at that pick right there.
Let's go ahead.
All right, I was thinking edge rusher, but look, I can't be mad at that.
But, bro, his jersey's about to have the easiest spelling ever.
Yeah. That's no doubt, though.
that is just ridiculous, bro.
Like when he started to announce the name, I'm like, did he have a seizure? Because it sounded like he stopped. But I think he said Rook, and he was trying to say it in his head 2 or 3 times before he screwed it up.
Yeah.
But I remember seeing this cat, because again, it goes back to me saying what I said yesterday. I watch a lot of ACC football. So a lot of these ACC players I'm very familiar with, especially if they're not one-and-done players. I've seen them for a few years, and that's a really solid pick and a very huge need because that interior defensive line that they have with Grady Jarrett is really getting up there in age, so they needed a young stud to come in and be able to step in with Grady Jarrett and learn from one of the best pass rushers in the league and the best run stoppers and get on that. That's a good pick for the Falcons.
Yeah, that is a solid pick. I mean, there's really not much better you can get off of that.
You've got Scary Terry. You've got Jaden Daniels. Who do you draft next as the Washington Commanders?
If I'm the Commanders, I think I still either I'm going running back or
I'm going Kool-Aid McKinstry.
Are you?
Yep. They actually have a top 10 line.
I know. I'm kind of.
Now that was last year. I don't know if they've lost anybody. That being said,
I'm hoping Kool-Aid kind of falls to us right now.
Bro, if Kool-Aid McKinstry falls to us, dude.
I'm just saying. So while we're waiting on this whole Carolina or this whole Washington pick, another hang on, where was it? Another one I was impressed with, and I know we talked about it a little bit, was Chicago, bro, loading up. They went and got their quarterback in Caleb Williams. Hopefully he's the guy. And then they turned around and added to that already deep receiving room with Rome Odunze. How you feeling?
To be honest with you, dude, I had a really hard time trying to figure out whether it was the Bears or the Vikings that actually won round 1 last night because I think the moves the Vikings made to get their guys or their guy, J.J. McCarthy, and then that solid pickup in the second pick they had in the first round. They were one of 3 teams that had 2 first-round picks. I know them, the Bears, and who else was it? No, that was the only 2.
You know what? I can go with your argument with the Vikings. I definitely I was cool with that pick. There's for one, so I still think Chicago won something.
Look, again, Chicago was a 7-10 team last year, man. They weren't trash.
I mean, they haven't been trash the last couple of years. They just
no. So you can almost see that they're a couple of pieces away from being a solid playoff team every year.
Yeah.
So I really like that pick. Now, again, the Vikings picking up excuse me, the Vikings picking up J.J. McCarthy yesterday solidified to me. It was a huge pick for the Vikings as a quarterback because you want to feel like they got their guy, right? They got their franchise guy. But what they also probably did was almost lay the ink on the contract itself for Justin Jefferson because Justin Jefferson's sitting on the side like, I'm not playing with no bum. I'm not going to rebuild. If you write a rebuild, I'm going to sit it out, and I'm going to go into free agency next year, and I'm going to get paid. And they went and drafted as they feel like their franchise guys. So I really think that aided the ability for the Vikings to keep a weapon as serious as Justin Jefferson.
Yeah. And you know what? I keep hearing J.J. McCarthy ain't going to be the starter. It'll be Sam Darnold. I'm going to beg to differ on that because you don't
Are you kidding me? Who's saying that?
I was kind of watching the talking heads on the pre-show.
Look, I did actually hear somebody, I think it was on a radio show. I heard somebody say maybe he's going to be the Baker Manning of this year, talking about. There's no way in hell.
No,
Sam Darnold, no way.
Sam Darnold, they were trying to talk the same thing, that he's going to have the Baker Mayfield performance with Minnesota and play himself into another contract with another team. I don't see that happening. I do see Sam Darnold seeing ghosts and shit in the bed, and it being turned over to J.J. McCarthy by at least game 4 or 5.
Wow, that's Darryl Green?
Yes, sir.
Wow.
That's great.
Like, that dude is a legend.
Nah, that's understatement.
Fair enough. Darryl Green is an icon.
Yes.
Like, he's bad. When I saw that, I was like, man, is that Darryl Green? I couldn't tell, That's great.
That is awesome.
I really like the way that the NFL tries to incorporate these younger. Just want to see. This is y'all can see this. Y'all can see this.
I got mine up there in its case.
I actually had one of those the big diamonds that represents the actual Super Bowl that we won. That's above the trophy. Yeah. I have one fall out, so what I'm going to do is take it to a jeweler and get him to put a red ones in there.
Oh, so apparently they're going to retire Darryl Green's jersey. That's awesome.
That's very well deserved, considering the racist piece of shit that just sold the team wouldn't.
Yep.
Sorry, that's my opinion, not the opinion of the shows. Just want to clarify that.
If I'm correct, Darryl Green refused to go in because of that reason.
Yes. A lot of people from that organization wouldn't participate with things in that organization, things like this, because of him.
Yeah. Wow.
In the 2024 NFL Draft, the Washington Commanders select
Newton.
Okay. You know what that means? That crybaby, Allen, could potentially get traded with all that crying he's been doing in the last 2 years. I mean, I think a lot of that's changing. You just got to give it time in Washington, because I believe that they're going to continue to flip this script in Washington and make that a good organization. But that defensive help is really solid in what they need. They had a solid offensive line. They were very competitive last year with.
Give me Daron Payne.
Oh, Daron Payne is that dude.
Give me Daron Payne, my man. I was watching that boy eat people alive in Alabama.
Dude, he is an animal. But the thing is, he's in his second contract, and you can't really expect the defensive tackle to be superior for 3 contracts. There's very few of those that come along. So this was a really solid pickup for them to get youth and depth in that interior line.
Oh, absolutely.
I think that's a good pickup. Now, next we have the New England Patriots, right? Yeah.
Yep, you got New England, and their pick is in.
Yes, sir. So, wide receiver.
I'm going wide receiver, and I'm going to say Adonai Mitchell.
Adonai Mitchell, yeah. That's exactly who I was thinking. That's exactly who I was thinking. Like, to go back to something we broached on earlier, 3 players that I was shocked didn't go in the first round. Cooper DeJean. Okay. I was shocked at him. Okay. I was shocked. Okay. I was honestly shocked at Keon Coleman. I thought he was going to make it at the end of the first round.
Okay.
But again, I mentioned this to you a couple of days ago.
Oh, wow.
His 40 time.
With the 37th pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, our New England Patriots select Jalen receiver Russell.
Ooh!
I did not expect that one bit.
Wide receiver, wow.
Michael Penix's top target.
That's interesting.
That's a good pick right there. That'll be
He needs weapons. They don't have any wide receivers out there.
Bro, it's going to be really interesting to see what he does with new quarterback Drake May.
Look, I believe they got their guy at coach. I believe all of the players are very familiar and like him and really want to follow him. Gerard Mayo, I was a fan of his. He was always a really good player. He was always a very classy player. He always played hard and produced. So that in itself, as a football player, you played sports, I played sports.
Yeah.
I'll die for fuckers like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So, people like that, I really believe he's got the locker room after Bill lost the locker room. And I believe that's what happened in New England the last few years. Bill lost it because he wouldn't change his approach.
Yeah,
and it really needed to be done. That way was way overdue. That way was way overused, and it was way past due to time to change. And I think they got their guy. So I really got high expectations, especially in that division. You got Buffalo, who all but looks like their window is closed, and they're in rebuild mode. You've got the Jets, who might win, they might not. They might Aaron Rodgers, and they might discount double check you. Who knows? Yeah. And then you have the Miami Dolphins. The Miami Dolphins seem like they're going to win 17 games a year and lose the first round of the playoffs. So, they're typical Dolphins. So they really have an ability to take this division over right now.
Yeah, they do.
And Tennessee's coming up with this pick. Now, I like Tennessee.
I think they still continue to go offensive line. I think Titans continue to protect that young Will Levis because I think they still believe in the weapons they have.
What do you think about Jackson Powers Johnson?
Either Jackson Powers Johnson or Kingsley. What is it? Samadia or Samadia?
Samaya, yeah.
I like both of those right there. Also, another one that could be up for is Dominic Puny, offensive guard out of Kansas.
I actually thought he was going to go in the first round. But I will say, tackles and quarterbacks were premium yesterday.
Well, and
wide receivers.
A couple of the mock drafts that I had done, the 4-round ones, Dominic Puny was still available, within the 3rd and 4th rounds. So I don't think if you don't draft him here that he's particularly not going to be there. But I do think, whoever gets him going to get a solid guard that, you can plug and play day one.
Absolutely.
Speaking of
shit.
Offense,
you know what I just noticed?
Speaking of lines, hang on. Speaking of offensive lines real quick, let's go ahead and talk about our draft pick. I'm giving us an A for that pick.
All right, I was fixing to hit a dab, but I put that down because I got some business to tend to.
Oh, you can't multitask?
No, this is serious. Because if you're a Bucs fan, bring it in. Okay? All right. Versatility is key. All right. We've got 2 of our offensive linemen that are extraordinarily versatile. You've got Tristan Wirfs, who plays 2 of the most difficult positions There's 3 difficult positions on the offensive line, center and both the ends. He can play both of the ends very well. He proved it. He was an all-pro on both sides of the ball. All right.
Facts.
Jackson Powers Johnson has the skill set. What happened when Jackson Powers Johnson did his pro day, a lot of the information started to surface to the public, which I'm sure that a lot of insiders and your scouts and everything already knew this and was taking into consideration. But people like us don't stay that in-depth, even me and you sometimes. This guy had 5 concussions in his college and high school career.
Look, I'll put it this way. I love the pick we had, and this is all I'm gonna say. If the Bucs wanted Jackson Powers Johnson, they'd have drafted him. They'd have brought him
Absolutely.
in.
Absolutely.
That would have been a guarantee.
Graham Barton was their guy the whole time.
And we had talked about it a couple times in, the pre-draft. We had talked about it a few other, and a few other segments that
if you go look in the past to our shows, to our mock drafts and the things that I've posted, I picked him he was the only lineman besides Jackson Powers Johnson that I took.
Talk about legend on your TV right now.
Oh, Warren Moon, let's go. Let's go.
But no, the Graham Barton select, bro, I am all for. I do not down it one bit because that is something we needed when Ryan left. Is a solid center, and from everything I'm reading with his scouting report, he's got that solid foundation to make a great center.
Scouting report. Now his PFRR grade is 10.0, right? Since 1983, there's been 691 offensive linemen graded under that scale. He scored a 10 out of 10, right?
I was going to say, wasn't he like, I think I read the same thing. Wasn't he like
he was ranked number 1 out of 691 offensive linemen in what, 41 years?
41 years.
41 years.
Yeah, there was.
How can you be pissed at this pick? He played left tackle. He played center. He played guard. Like, how can you? Like, what the? Your football knowledge is lacking so bad. I don't even think you understand the definition of that term. If you believe that was a bad pick, that's all I'm saying. You're an idiot.
Here's where I'm not gonna go. I wouldn't go that far because I can understand where, and I even said it. I wouldn't mind Jackson Powers Johnson, but
when I found out about the concussions, I'm like, no.
No, even outside of that, here's what I'll say. Graham Barton, versatile. That man, his versatility can play him into multiple contracts.
Yes.
It gives him job stability in a way, especially.
You know what Jason Light said? He reminds him of Ali Marpet.
Exactly. And you know what was the biggest issue we have had the last couple of years? Injuries. Just solid play. And if Tristan Wirfs gets injured, it wouldn't be much to move Hainsey back to center from guard, and then moving Barton over to left tackle, and you got somebody to fill in. So, do you want to get smacked in your mouth right now, or do you want to get smacked in your mouth when I see you for talking about Tristan getting hurt?
You can do it now and later because I feel bad saying it. But for real, that's the kind of versatility this guy has. And when I say that, I said that just to bring up this idea that, like, you just can't replace a left tackle and expect it to work for 8, 10, 12 games. But a guy that's consistently played that position at a high level, that gives you confidence. So that was a fantastic. To me, I give the Bucs a grade A.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I won't give it an A+, but an A.
I'll give it an A. I'll give it an A.
So Rams traded.
Well, I had bounced back and forth and wondering if I gave it an A+ or an A-, because we could. I mean, yes, you could argue we could have had a better pick somewhere else. Maybe somebody else deserved it. But at the same time, we could have done a lot worse. We see how that shit's gone.
If you didn't see, the Panthers traded their picks to the Rams. They moved back to 50-something and got a second round next year and a 5th round.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
They needed the draft capital. And they just got a wide receiver in the 1st round, and they had a 2nd round. along with it at 53, so it works out.
I was gonna say I dig their whole I dig their shit
Strategy?
going on here.
Yeah, I think they're approaching the draft very well.
Yeah,
Dave Canales is doing good.
Hey,
Oh, Brandon Fisk, fuck me. I wanted him. Fuck.
Nah, you know what? As a Bucs
He's
fan,
a sleeper, dude. I'm telling you.
yeah, but how many fucking defensive tackles do we need?
Who do we got? Because Cansey is not a D tackle. He's an end.
Okay.
He's listed as an end. All right.
Yes.
You've got Vita Vea.
Okay, but hear me out.
Okay.
Cansey's also that type of player. He can play in and outside. That was in the scouting report. That's why we pulled him. So
Right.
You got on our defense line. You got Vita. You got Cansey. You got Will Goldston. You can drop Yaya Diaby down there because he's able to play edge. You got Mike Green in the middle. You still got Dedrick Sanat in the middle, which are still quality players. To me, you just that isn't necessary.
I don't think you have a solid number 2 tackle. Sanat's good, but he's a rotational guy. You need a solid number 2 tackle because, in my opinion, Will Goldston could play that, but he's a better edge rusher as opposed to your interior. Now he's a better interior. He's a better interior run stopper than pass rusher. Will Goldston, that is.
No, I know. I agree. But you just said, who do we have? I gave you a list. And I understand, the love of the guy, but it's just that's one of those players we don't need in the cards right now.
No, we need a D tackle in this draft. That's for sure. That's my opinion. I think in this draft, we need a good, solid D tackle. Now, I believe you could also get a D tackle in the 3rd or 4th round. That's one of those, like a defensive line, interior defensive line position. To be honest with you, if you've got the body, you could be taught how to use your hands and feet.
Yeah, I don't think these early picks right now are necessarily the need for a defensive tackle, especially when he's a
3rd round grade though. A 3rd round grade. He had a 3rd round grade.
No, and that's understandable, but we still need help in the secondary.
That's why I was hoping to get him in round 3.
Like we still need help in the secondary. I still believe we could benefit from a little bit more depth in the O line. D line, yes, depth wise, we could do that in later rounds and even post draft.
I mean, we also picked up an edge rusher with signing Will Goldston. We also picked an edge rusher up in Randy Gregory, who's not your elite style edge rusher, but he can come in and cause havoc.
He can. And who's to say after the draft some of these guys don't become available for a cheaper price?
Absolutely. Absolutely. 100%.
That's something I believe we can look into as well. I think
Eagles. Watch this. Jackson Powers Johnson. Watch this. Think about who just retired.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. No. I'm not disagreeing with you at all.
I thought they were going to take him in the 1st round.
I think they
like them or Dallas.
I think they had a little bit more of a need than and I get where you're going at with it with Jason retiring. And yeah, bro, we did that. I mean, fuck, bro. Jensen retired. We were like, all right, now we know we're gonna go get a guy.
Right.
Because I still firmly believe, bro, he was believing he could come back, and we were holding off in case he could. Yeah, absolutely. Well, check it out. We've got just a few minutes left of this first hour of the draft in the 2nd, 3rd, 4th rounds tonight. But that means we also got 8 minutes until Monday Night Raw, Friday Night SmackDown. And the WWE draft starting. So I feel like I'm going to go ahead and give my final takes on the draft. I will put out a podcast this weekend, probably sometime Sunday on Pancakes and Powerbombs. If you want to, we want to get together and you want to get together and kind of do a podcast of the remaining portion of the draft and get on that. We'll drop that on the page on Sunday evening sometime. So be a lookout for that.
But as far as I'm
So,
concerned, go
as
ahead.
of right now, I want to say I'm off Monday as of right now. So, as of now, if you want, we can record a overall assessment of the draft after everything's done. We can continue to also cover it because, I mean, the WWE draft ain't gonna be like this. We're gonna have some shit, and we can continue going back and forth. So
Absolutely.
if anybody watching wants to help keep us updated with the NFL draft, I'm all for it. If anybody would like to join that is watching the NFL draft that is not covering the WWE draft that would like to join, just send me a message. I'll drop you the link.
Absolutely.
Join us.
Absolutely. The more the merrier. Hey, two things before I get off this pancake situation. The biggest surprise so far, Cooper DeJean has been one of the hottest secondary men talked about in the draft. At pick 40, he is still on the clock. He is still waiting to be taken. And that, to me, is a big surprise. And this could be a good spot where he goes.
Well, Vernon thinks that they're gonna get Cooper DeJean in Philly. I could see that, but I just don't think that's a guarantee.
No, I mean, they could go D-tackle. I mean, they had an offensive center and a D-tackle, a legendary offensive center and a legendary defensive tackle retire in the same year.
No, absolutely.
Another damn legend is announcing the pick.
Here we go. Cooper DeJean. Does his name sound like Dijon?
I know, right? Look, I have actually, the one thing I took away from this draft that I really liked as a fan, they dropped the time frame per pick. That went so much better than last few years that I can remember, like 4.5 hours for a round one draft. It was like crazy. So It was really nice to be able to see 10-minute picks and watch it. And I'm assuming that they're probably going to get less and less with their selections as they normally would, than what they normally have been. So I think this is a good look for the draft. I think it helps as far as fans and the attendance and the watching it. I think all the teams in the first round outside of Atlanta, because that's a question mark unless you buy into the theory that I was talking about earlier. Making sure you solidify that position because you really don't have that much faith in a 36-year-old quarterback coming off a season-ending injury. So I really think it was a good first round of the draft. It looks like it's really starting off. The Green Bay Packers trade picks to the like 4 trades in the second round already. Crazy. Trades are the name of this draft.
The Saints are about to.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. They just traded for a pick. They just moved up. That's been 4 trades in the second round.
Yep.
All right, so I'm done with pancakes, brother. I love football, but I'm going to submit my time to Powerbombs for the remaining hour and 3 minutes of this show. I really appreciate everybody taking the time to step in and watch us as we put on this draft coverage for the NFL.
No. As a Bucs fan, we are obligated to see who the Saints are picking for that shitbag organization.
Hey, I'm down for seeing the stupidity.
Yes, we are staying for just one more pick to see who they're going to fall to.
Hey, did you hear the rumor about the Saints today? They were trying to trade up to get Michael Penix in the top 10.
Yeah, they know Derek Carr sucks.
All right, here we go. Taysom Hill, little chump. He is not a quarterback.
Wow.
He's a tight back.
Wow, Kool-Aid McKinstry.
That's going to be a solid pickup in a year from them when they got Lattimore and McKinstry on both sides. Because I like McKinstry. I think McKinstry's probably going to be.
You want to hear a hot take?
Yeah.
McKinstry is going to be the exit for Lattimore.
Yeah.
Lattimore,
He could trade them.
New Orleans is going to part ways with Latiho for their new acquisition. And you know what? I can no longer be a fan of Kool-Aid McKinstry.
Hey, I can you go solo for like 2 minutes? I gotta check something with my wife. She just messaged me. All right, give me like 3 minutes. I'll be right back.
Absolutely, because we are just getting ready to turn everything over to the Powerbombs portion of the broadcast. For those of you that are trying to want to understand, we're about to be covering our portion of the WWE draft. So if you guys are tuning into that, give us your takes on that. If you're still watching NFL draft, keep us updated. Hey, and Vernon, I agree, man. They definitely are getting rid of a lot. But I don't know if it's necessarily for that reason or if they're just in that cap hell. They know what's coming up. But as I posted on 88 earlier, tonight's WWE draft is going to be 4 rounds apiece. There's going to be 2 picks per round. Now, what is being projected is the first overall pick for SmackDown could potentially be the Bloodline, which the Bloodline will continuously just be the Roman Reigns, Paul Heyman, Tama Tonga, Solo Sikoa, and from what I'm understanding, Jimmy Uso is not involved in that Bloodline pick as he is out right now with injury. So that is something that we need to keep up on. So now I'm waiting on Derek to come back to get his take on this one. But due to this draft, there has been concerns that NXT is going to be left dry after this the WWE draft. Oh yeah, Vernon, I agree, man. Shit, especially Lattimore and Honey Badger, and yeah, you can't be if you ain't healthy and you ain't out there, you're just not being productive for the team. So this that I can understand, you know. But as I was talking about with NXT. With this draft, I do not see WWE necessarily picking apart. I don't see NXT getting like dried out like that. I do see it'll be a lot of talent being sent down to NXT that could potentially cause some work, need some work, in whatever aspects. Also, I do believe they could be trying to bring NXT to more of a main roster type feel while still keeping the developmental stage, because once they go to Netflix on Raw, it's just gonna be absolutely insane. Now, as they're showing on the screen, the champions for each respective brand, they are safe for the moment. The only championship or the only champions that are up for grabs in the draft are going to be your women's tag team champions, which are the Kabuki Warriors. And from what I'm understanding, whatever they or whatever brand they get drafted to, they still will appear on both shows. But when they lose the tag titles, they end up on that brand. So if Kabuki is drafted to Raw, they will go to Raw when they lose their titles.
All right, I'm back. The wife was telling me to come here because she needed some help. She ain't need no help. I have a special delivery.
Ah. So, I was just talking about this.
I'm listening.
NXT is worried about being left dry after the draft. Is this a fair concern?
Yeah, honestly, I think so.
Well, and like I was talking about as well. I don't think I understand a fair concern, but I think it's kind of set in place for a reason. You're going to see some
Right.
stars that are going to get not necessarily demoted, but move down to NXT.
Look, I really like. I don't think it's a demotion going to NXT. There's a different level of fans in NXT, right?
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I mean, you know one personally that's a dog about NXT.
Shout out, Corey.
I heard that. So from that perspective in itself, I really feel like NXT is trying to evolve into its own brand. And it's not a demotion if you get sent down there. Like, guys can like look at Ivar. Ivar is fighting for what is it? What's the championship called? What?
Oh, bro,
That,
they got the NXT stars sitting at the Performance Center waiting to get drafted.
yeah. I see that.
That is awesome. I think we're going to see some returns with this draft as well.
You mean returns from previously with this company returns?
I see names such as Charlotte Flair making a return and coming back. Maybe this is where, not tonight, but necessarily this is where you get Alexa Bliss returning.
Do you see any tag teams being split up? And who?
I see Damage Control being split up due to the fact of the Kabuki Warriors are only available to be drafted as the Kabuki Warriors as the women's tag team champions, as where the rest of Damage Control
Can be singled out.
Can be singled out. They do not come as a package deal.
Oh, okay.
Now the Bloodline does come as a package deal, so it'll be it. Like I was mentioning, it'll be Roman Reigns, Paul Heyman, Tama Tonga, and Solo Sikoa.
Right.
Jimmy Uso is not under the Bloodline, as he is out, or he
So
is
he's
out.
been officially kicked out.
He hasn't necessarily been kicked out, but he's out with quote unquote injury.
Really?
Bro, we're kicking off with the contract signing between Cody and AJ
This is
Styles.
nuts. Like, this is going to be a real dogfight because we brought it up, the history between, the closeness as far as Cody Rhodes and AJ Styles. They've never faced each other.
Nope, he's faced Dustin and he's faced Dusty, but he's never faced Cody.
And in my opinion, those boys are going to put on a hell of a program.
Yeah, and I mean, you're not going to get Cody losing the belt, obviously, but this is going to be, like you see right there behind AJ, bro, that match is going to be phenomenal.
Yes, absolutely. I agree totally. That's a good way to start off SmackDown.
Well, I think it's a big step at this point. And once we get done with the Cody segment, barring there is no draft pick at the moment, I do want to talk about what Cody's former boss / coworker had to say today about the WWE. Because I don't know if you had seen in the draft last night when the Jaguars picked Tony Khan in the front office with that neck brace on.
Yep.
Yeah. You know where that came from, right? his attack on from the Young Bucks the other night. Tony's keeping
I read about that. So the Young Bucks
Tony's
attacked him?
Yeah, Tony's keeping kayfabe alive. Yeah, Jack Perry came back, hugged it out with Tony Khan, attacked Tony Khan. Young Bucks came out, acted like they were gonna jump Jack Perry, attack Tony Khan. Oh, bro, it was awesome. I'll get into it in a minute.
Okay. Why are you doing this?
But yeah, it's interesting to say the least. Man. So do you think we're gonna get just a normal match between these two?
Between like a regular falls match? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, just a regular wing ding match. Or do you think we get a fun little stipulation?
To be honest with you, I believe it's going to be more than one match. I believe they could keep a program going for a pay-per-view or two.
Okay.
What else do you have in line? That's my question. But right now, yeah, I believe it would be a regular straight-up match. The first time around.
I could see something like that. Or even a 2 out of 3 falls.
I mean, would I want a stipulation? To be honest with you, dude, I always want stipulations.
No, I can see that, though. First match between each other, good old-fashioned just one-on-one.
They're great wrestlers, bro.
This is where I hope they allow both of them the opportunity to showcase their independent skills.
Yes.
I believe we're in a new era. I believe we're in the right era for this to happen.
Oh yeah.
I would love to see them showcase where they made their name. I mean, yeah, Cody had a name already in the WWE because of, the Rhodes name and all that.
Yeah.
But that was the whole reason he went off and did his own thing, and he even said it. He had to pave his own path. And I think this is going to showcase what both of these two have done outside of WWE.
Yes. I agree. You definitely don't have to convince me of that.
Hey, I'm not going to lie. The more and more I see Cody, I believe Roman, he looks like a damn politician.
You know who he looks like? You know who he reminds me of?
Who?
Ric Flair. I mean,
Yeah.
His appearance, not the way he is, but his appearance.
No. I know the blonde with the suit,
the suits, the Class A uniform type thing, bro. He reminds me of that.
No,
yeah.
I fuck, and the way he holds the championship. No, I fuck with you on that. I like that.
Yeah. He reminds me of the Nature Boy.
Yeah, I fuck with you on that big time.
He grew up around him every day of his life almost, too. So it's no surprise.
Yeah. This is going to be fun, though. This is where I do hope that they kind of kick it into another gear, though. I do.
Yeah.
Who cries? Hey, so who cries first when it comes to talking about Dusty, AJ or Cody?
Cody. Cody wears his emotions on his eyebrows.
I'm not even. Yeah, you know what, man? As much as I love Cody, and I'm a big fan of him, that is the biggest downfall, in my opinion, when it comes to him, man.
Yeah. What happened to my TV? See, that's the only thing about streaming. You think it went to commercial, and all of a sudden I'm like, what the hell happened here?
Yeah. Look at Cody with the you know what? I'm not gonna knock Cody for the candy bracelets because I have fucking hundreds of them, making them all that. But man, why does he look like he's about to go to an EDM festival afterward?
It's not working. Like my app is not working now.
The modern day excellence of execution. Oh, we're about to get a Bret Hart reference going, aren't we?
Is that what AJ said about himself?
Yep.
Well, for some reason, the Fox app just stopped working for me, so I am following your lead.
All right.
Like, what the heck?
This is where you got to invest in Sling.
Look at your sales pitching.
I ain't sales pitching shit. They don't pay me. I pay them.
Fair enough. I'm flipping it on the draft for a second to see if I can catch up on a few of the draft picks while
I was about to say, now if they wanna hook me up with service for free, bro, I'll plug the shit out of them.
they're on pick 46 at this moment. Carolina is on the clock, and their pick is in. No, pick 47 now. The pick is in. I think Jonathan Brooks is who the Carolina Panthers just took. Yes, Jonathan Brooks, running back out of Texas.
Oh, Carolina trying to load up a little bit, aren't they?
Yeah. Kamari Lassiter got picked by Texans. Cardinals picks Max Melton, cornerback Rutgers at 43. 44.
Cody.
The Raiders went Jackson Powers Johnson at 44. The Packers went Edgerrin Cooper, linebacker from Texas A&M at 45. And then the Panthers at 46 again took Jonathan Brooks, running back out of Texas. He had 11.2 yards per reception as a running back out of the backfield this past season.
Oh, AJ Styles told Cody it's a shame his title reign's gonna end up Backlash. Now they're shaking hands.
Really?
How do you have two tables set up in the ring and nobody's getting thrown through it? Who's running?
Dude, somebody shared something today, and it was John Bradshaw Layfield talking about Ron Simmons and how he walked up to him and he says, "What was that?" And Ron replied, "They didn't want to go through the table." And Shea BL responded with, "Well, you take the damn table to them."
AJ Styles just kind of walked out of the ring, and now Cody's raising the title, and I feel like we were left wanting to see more, and we didn't get to see more. Ow. Well, just know, since our champion's walking off real quick, we'll go ahead and talk about it, man. That WrestleMania that he was a part of both nights generated a gate over $38 million. Are you surprised? Now let me know as we're waiting on Triple H to bring his ass out.
I'm not surprised.
Me either.
When it came to Tampa and that put that whole scene into perspective, you know, because you hear about it. You see it on TV. You've been to, festivals and things like that. I've been to festivals and things like that and shows and all this stuff. But a thing of that magnitude and something that you talk about, when you talk about, think of a festival, right? One that's like multiple days. Like you have to have something in between.
Hold that real quick.
Yep.
First overall draft pick, Triple H is standing there with Cody Rhodes to his side.
I'm trying to pull up the website on the computer to see if I can go through that. I don't know what the app on my Xbox is tripping on. Like it shows like the little lock symbol, like, but it shows me signed into my cable provider too. So I'm like, what the heck? Yeah, it's kind of weird. I'm waiting for it to finish reinstalling. I actually uninstalled it. I'm actually upgrading my internet next week, just to let you know.
Oh.
So we won't have these problems anymore.
Oh, Cody Rhodes' first pick. Who's SmackDown selecting?
I think I might have got it fixed.
Bianca Belair.
That's an obvious.
Not who I had.
Who'd you have?
I had Seth Rollins for SmackDown. Actually, hang on. Who did I have for SmackDown? I had the Bloodline.
The Bloodline being the first one?
Yep. Jey Uso. There we go. Your first
Carmelo Hayes.
Your first pick of the draft. SmackDown selects the EST Bianca Belair, and Raw decided to stay yeeting Jey Uso.
The first NXT wrestler drafted. Carmelo Hayes.
Ooh. I had him at the 3rd round tonight.
Okay, Seth Rollins.
I had him at the 3rd round tonight. I got
once one champion's picked, you kind of, you can kind of feel where the other champion's going, right? As far as the champions go. So, like, outside of that, I'm kind of disappointed. I would have liked to seen Hayes on Raw. Maybe he's a little bit more PG. Uh-oh. Ilya Dragovich just lost his title this past week too, so I really believe. Yeah, he's. I think he's definitely going to get drafted tonight.
Here we go. He's here. He don't miss. Mello is him.
Whoop that trick, they say. How far ahead of you am I?
No idea.
He just told Cody he best not miss if you come for the king.
You're like 2 seconds ahead.
Okay, cool. The draft, I was like 30 seconds behind, it felt like.
Yeah, well, last night, yeah, it was. Tonight,
well, I know why last night, because I watched it lag a few times during the draft. So that's what put me behind. Look, I like the fact that he's coming out and chirping at the champ right off the rip.
Yeah, but see, here's my problem with that. Is he worth it?
Is he worth it? I don't know. Put him in the ring and let's see.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro. Like he was good in NXT, but can he do it against the big boys on the big time?
I think we got a Monday Night Raw match.
It's a SmackDown match, baby boy.
Or a SmackDown. I keep thinking it's Monday for some reason.
Cody and Mello tonight?
That's what I'm talking about, baby. Hey, now for all those people cutting, excuse me, cutting on Cody Rhodes, this is one of the very first bright light, center of the stage examples of how Cody Rhodes, as the champ and as the leader of this company, can actually push these other wrestlers and carry this company like a championship.
I was gonna say, can he elevate these guys the same way?
Yes.
In the same way Roman was doing? Because I'll give him that respect.
I mean, like, honestly, you know, a lot of people said this and said that about Roman and how he called out all these wrestlers and then turned to be, you know, a part-time champ and all this kind of shit. Like, Roman, like, would carry you in the ring.
Yeah.
And to the point to where if you had bad moves, it was a badass fucking match. And I'm talking badass in a good way because Roman turned into that good of a wrestler and an in-ring performer where he can take somebody with average skills and make them look better.
Well, and we've talked about it. I believe Roman going heel was the best thing he's ever done, bro.
Yeah.
You know, hands down, had to have been the best thing he's ever done because there's no way you can say after basically being outed, rejected by the WWE Universe, you come back and you had one of the greatest heel runs of all time.
Yeah.
Like, not only did you just surpass what we all expected, you blew it out of the water.
Yeah.
You went on to be we were behind you when you finally won your championship against Brock after trying for a whole year.
Yeah.
Then you go away because you had your leukemia. Valid deal. You come back, pandemic happens. Okay. You kind of sit back and you're like, I'm gonna wait. Then you come back in this complete revamp of a heel. And went apeshit for 3.5 years.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. When he came back from that little hiatus, whatever it was, and he turned into the tribal chief and he started to get arrogant, I really didn't like that portion of him. Now, I say that to say this. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking.
No, you know what, man? Like, I did, but I didn't. Like,
but he grew on me. That character grew on me.
I was gonna say, as that fan, I wanted certain people to win. Like when it was Edge and Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania against him, I was hoping to see Edge get one more title victory, bro. Just one more small little run. But then it was a stack and pin, and I'm like, oh, okay, I see what they're doing here.
Right.
Like, he's just adding people like it's nothing.
Right.
And I'm just like, as much as I didn't like it, I loved it. Because
shout out to Tony the Tiger at the draft.
Oh.
Hey, what's up with Jacksonville taking 2 LSU players in one's in first and one in the second round?
Keep them close to home. Speaking of Jacksonville, and their owner and his motherfucking son.
Yeah, his mother.
Tony, okay, so those of you that don't understand the context that I'm about to bring up, look, YouTube it, look it up, AEW Dynamite. Tony Khan was pile driven by the Young Bucks. Actually, while we're doing this, okay, so we'll get back to this after the Rey Mysterio and LWO because I want to see, just for context, I want to see if I can get video for everybody.
Heard that. I've been waiting to see Dragon Lee and Rey Mysterio together. I bet they're gonna carry. I bet they're gonna carry the tag team championships.
Well, there's supposed to be more to it.
Hey, look, everybody that's watching the show, whether you're watching it, if you're watching it on YouTube, if you're watching it on Facebook, share it on every platform, on every group that'll accept it. Share it. Share the group as far as invitations, as far as inviting your friends and people you know to the group. We want to grow this group and expand this group to massiveness sizes. And it's not for me, it's not for him, it's for all of us. It's for us. And we're all here for one reason, and that's to, be able to, speak freely and voice every opinion we have without the fear of people screwing shit up, and being rude, being obnoxious, and being disrespectful, and have a good time on some stuff that we actually love in football and wrestling.
Yeah.
So thanks again. And that being said, I haven't said anything, but this summer, probably in June, I'm going to run a contest for everybody in the group that is not me or you. And there will be a potential cash or winning prize. So I'm kind of working on the idea in my head, and when I get it finalized over the next couple of weeks, I'm gonna bring it to you. And if you've got any insight on it from that point, we can build on that. And starting June, if you're watching our show and you follow our group and you're part of the community, then make sure to pay attention for that. And as we normally do, I try to tag everyone in important posts. What we're going to start doing is making sure the important posts are pinned on the top of the page. So when you go to the group, you'll see a pinned portion right at the top, and you're going to tap on it and see that important information. But I can't thank everybody enough, whether it's one person or 50 of you guys that get on this live or go on to it after it's done and watch it. I appreciate that.
Yeah, and I appreciate
it validates me taking time away from my family for you guys. It validates that, and I thank you.
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, let's be blunt. We're not getting paid to do this. We're doing this just strictly for the love of it, for the fun of it. Now, I have the video. I'm gonna run it. I want your thoughts.
Okay.
Now, Tony, it's no secret we've had our ups and downs. We haven't always seen eye to eye, but I want to tell you this right now. From the bottom of my heart, I swear to God, the only thing that I have ever wanted is what's best for AEW. So I want to ask you to please shake my hand, reinstate me, and let's go on and continue to change the world together.
Well, sometimes you have to leave for you to really set in. Tony's he's a great boss. He's a great guy, and he's such a giving guy and forgiving guy. So this doesn't shock me. But Jack Perry back on the scene here in All Elite Wrestling. We can only assume that's what that handshake, that embrace meant. Absolutely. Tony smiled. Oh, my God! What the? What? I can't believe Jack just did that. What the frick is wrong with him? I don't. The Young Bucks are checking here on. Yeah, back to cooler heads will prevail. What? No. What the fuck? No, not this, no. Oh!
After watching that, what are your takes before we get into this topic?
Honestly, I watched all but the last 30 seconds of it because I was watching another backstabbing. And we'll talk about that in a minute. But to get back to your question, that was really, I really want to know where they're going with this angle now. Because you have three wrestlers attacking the owner. And look, my favorite wrestler of all time, Stone Cold Steve Austin. So when it comes to, wrestlers attacking the owner, it's not something I'm not familiar with or fond of. But in this scenario, it's truly interesting because you look at the people involved. You've got the Young Bucks over here, and then you've got Jack Perry. First off, you put those three guys together, and that's a really nasty little clique. But on the other hand of it, I hope they got a really good idea because we've seen this before.
Hey, hang on. Are you good?
Yeah.
Okay. No, it was running. It was all robotic. So that's why I was making sure.
Yeah, that we've seen this situation before plenty of times, and it's not like it's something that's been unseen before in wrestling. It's a very common thing. It hasn't been seen in a long time. But I'll say this much: I'm very intrigued to see where they take this.
So,
interest is the biggest portion of my peak to interest. I'm intrigued really big.
First off, I'm just gonna say shout out to Tony Khan for keeping kayfabe alive. As we
Yes.
seen last night in the NFL draft, him sitting in the Jacksonville Jaguars front office with a neck brace on, knowing damn well that he had rehearsed what was about to happen at least 2 times. And we all know that soft brace is just a cosmetic prop. Now,
Right.
Tony Khan did go on to a few shows today, and one of them with NFL Network, and was caught stating that he won. We all know that that move has been known as a Meltzer driver. It is just the Tiger Pile driver. He has gone on to rename it as the Tony Khan driver, first off, but also gone on and made the mention of AEW is the Pepsi of the pro wrestling world, as to where the WWE is like the Harvey Weinstein. Is
Wow.
this smart marketing by the AEW quote unquote president, owner, co-founder?
Let me say it this way. Yes and no. It can be smart marketing, but my response to that was classless as shit.
My question at this point, if you're gonna do that, why is it every time when Triple H made the reference a couple weeks ago, and we had talked about it on our WrestleMania pre-show, making the comment about Will Ospreay and being in it for the grind. You know, if you're looking for days off, stuff like that, maybe we're not for you. Tony Khan had written a promo following that for Will Ospreay to recite, and we had talked about that. Is it fair for Tony Khan to continue to poke the bear? Because we have seen what can happen when WWE unleashes it, and we know who's behind it, who's running it right now. So, is it safe to poke it? And from what I'm seeing, Tony or Nick Khan is giving up parts of his shares too. So if this is really Hunter's company overall and Rock's company, and they're the ones known for their their Monday Night Wars,
Right.
is it safe for Tony Khan to do that? Maybe it's smart marketing. Maybe that's not the question. Is it safe for Tony to be doing stuff like that, knowing power WWE possesses?
Oh, by the way, Adonia Mitchell, Colts.
All right.
So him and Michael Pittman and AR-15, like, ooh.
That'll be interesting to see.
If you can keep him healthy, that's going to be very interesting. To go back to this topic, it could be something that you've been talking about for a long time, bro. Maybe this could be a behind-the-scenes conversation, behind the scenes in somebody's van in somebody's 3 a.m. parking garage, where they're trying to prepare for that hidden, forbidden door, show.
Well, our boy's out right now, Braun Breaker.
Nice.
He about to tear somebody apart real quick.
I can't stand it when they feed those guys jobbers.
Now, speaking of Braun Breaker, they're feeding him Cedric Alexander.
Oh, I can accept that.
I don't know if I would want to. Yeah, that wasn't a good idea. It's over. Just like that, it's over.
He's going to be a champion soon, dude.
Cedric Alexander went to go do a flip, came back, and there was a Braun Breaker.
There was a Braun. Love it.
I will get that clip as soon as it becomes available, but Braun Braun broke him.
Wow.
That was definitely 10, 15, not even 10 seconds, maybe.
Damn.
I mean, shit. But let's get back to this. It could be a behind the scenes that would almost be kind of interesting.
Right.
You know, let's see if Tony's willing to take a couple bumps, see how far he's willing to go if he's in it for the long haul. That could be pretty, bro. You might be onto something.
I mean,
because Tony did say in the beginning he would never take. He's just a wrestling fan. He's not a wrestler. He will never be portrayed as a character.
right. Yeah, he made that, and he made that very clear too.
He did. He's got, he's paying the wrestlers. Now he's taking a different approach 5 years in. I mean,
and honestly, as a guy who owns a wrestling company, it's not a bad move. Trust me. Ask Stone Cold and the V guy.
Well, and I mean, and the part of the clip that we didn't get to see was Jacksonville Jaguars owner and the father of Tony Khan, Shad Khan, entered the ring and checked on his son and looked. And this is what a lot of the dirt sheets and the internet wrestling community has kind of, I guess, thought about, fantasized. But
Right.
Shad Khan didn't look too pleased. I mean, that might be a little interesting to see what's going on here.
Yeah, that's why I'm kind of.
And it's interesting to note that Jacksonville does not have an NFL legacy title. Fanatics and the WWE does not produce a Jacksonville Jaguar championship title.
Really?
Because the logo is owned and is property of AEW.
The Jaguars logo?
Yep. Shad Khan owns the Jags logo.
NFL don't like that.
No, so the as an owner, you own that property. NFL allows. I mean, it's a freedom. All the other owners are like, yeah, fuck it. Shad Khan.
I mean, it's not like they need the money from the royalties.
Yeah, Shad Khan said, hell nah.
He don't want nobody else to make any money off of him.
I mean,
that's what that screams to me.
It's Torrie Wilson.
Torrie Wilson.
About to come read the next draft picks after the commercials.
I ain't heard that name in a while.
Yep. So I think we're both agreeing that we might be seeing some shit soon.
Yes.
I want to see a response.
Yeah. I'm gonna be hot on the attentive skills with that one over the next few days.
Yeah.
Because that's a below the belt move, and I didn't like it, but it could be very effective.
Touche. The
Bucs will be picking in a few picks. We got 57, I think is what it is.
I believe so.
Yeah, I think they're on 54 right now.
I'm gonna leave the floor to you for about a minute. Go ahead and catch everybody up on the NFL draft.
All right, I will do. All right, we're looking. Right now, they're rolling through the picks at the bottom. The Browns are up at 54. The pick is in, and the Cleveland Browns will be. Let's see who the Cleveland did they pick. Yeah, they had a first-round pick. I can't remember who they drafted. Is that Carl Nassib? That's
They do incredible work for crisis intervention for our LGBTQ youth. And it's really, really a great job.
wow, Carl Nassib, former Buccaneer, announcing the Browns pick.
For the NFL, for the continued support of me, Peggy, and Trevor Project. So,
That's awesome. Glad he got up there on that platform.
2024 NFL Draft. The Cleveland Browns select
Cleveland took Michael Hall, Ohio State defensive tackle. All right. So once they scroll back to the beginning of where we were in that second round, I'll catch you guys up on who got what. All right, so 33 was Keon Coleman to Buffalo. The Chargers at 34 got Lad McConkey out of Georgia. At 35, the Falcons picked Rook Aurora tackle. The Commanders, Jazane Newton, D-tackle, Illinois. The Patriots at 37, Jalen Polk, Washington wide receiver. Number 38, the Titans selected Tavontre Sweat, defensive tackle of Houston or Texas. The Rams at 39 picked Braden Frisk out of Florida State, a defensive tackle, and at 41, the Eagles selected Cooper DeJean out of Iowa. At 40. At 41, Kool-Aid McKinstry went to the New Orleans Saints out of Alabama, and then the Texans at 42. Kamari Lassiter. At 43, the Cardinals selected cornerback Max Melton out of Rutgers. And at 44, Jackson Powers Johnson to the Raiders. At 45, the Packers got Edrin Cooper, linebacker from Texas A&M. And then at 46, the Panthers come in with Jonathan Brooks. We actually spoke about that earlier, from running back out of Texas. At 47, the Giants got Tyler Rubin, safety out of Minnesota. At 48, the Jaguars selected Mason Smith, D-tackle, LSU. At 49, the Bengals selected Chris Jenkins, Michigan, D-tackle. At 50, the Commanders selected Mike Surister out of Michigan. Yeah, that guy we talked about earlier. Steelers selected center Zach Frazier out of Western Virginia. The Colts at 52, Adanya Mitchell, wide receiver out of Texas, speedster. 53, the Commanders picked Ben Sinnott, tight end out of Kansas State. 54 was the Browns again with Michael Hall Jr., tackle, defense. Ohio State, they're on pick 54 right now, or 55, the Miami Dolphins. Then at 56, the Cowboys select. And then at 57, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Yes, so we're 3 picks away.
And in the third round, we got Randy Orton selected to SmackDown and Braun Breaker to Raw. SmackDown.
Yes, sir.
SmackDown selects Nia Jax.
The Miami Dolphins with the 55th pick select Patrick Paul, tackle from the University of Houston.
Patrick Paul, University of Houston, tackle, offensive tackle, went to the Miami Dolphins at 55.
And with the final pick of the second round, Raw selects Liv Morgan.
Liv Morgan.
Again, SmackDown has picked up Nia Jax, which is going to be a nightmare. And Raw keeps Liv Morgan.
Defenders off the line of scrimmage. They'll run into trouble. Balance issue. Really does little to excite blocking in space. As a pass blocker, the size, the arm length, you covered that. You want that. Hand placement, though, needs to be much more consistent.
Do you hear that? That audio?
A little bit.
Okay. Perfect. That's what I wanted to hear. You can't hear it now, can you?
Uh-uh.
Okay, good. That's loud enough for me to hear it, but not loud enough to give the audio feedback into the live.
So we'll talk.
Well, that's
about
actually really good. I can get used to seeing Braun Breaker on Raw.
Yeah,
Definitely. I mean, not that I don't watch SmackDown because I watch every episode.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
But,
let's talk about it, man. SmackDown's keeping Randy Orton, and Raw's picking up Braun Breaker, which to me, we talked about it a few minutes ago when he just smashed through Cedric Alexander. He could be a threat for Damian Priest or even that Intercontinental title.
absolutely. I think that Intercontinental title is going to be around his waist in the next 6 months. That's my opinion. I think he's going to get a title really quick.
I mean, depending on how they got me, because you still got Bronson Reed, all that shit. And
I think he's better than Bronson Reed.
Now, we're about to get something bloodline related because they're talking about it.
Okay.
So I'm kind of wondering. Bloodline's arriving.
You know, I think with Jay staying on, when he stayed on Monday, right?
Yeah.
With Jay on Monday, Seth on Monday, Braun on Monday, just those three wrestlers, Monday Night Raw stacking up really well. And we ain't talked about all of them. That's just those three. I really can't wait to see the difference in the way SmackDown and Raw is kind of presented.
Well, we got Solo and the MFT, Tama Tonga.
What's that? What's the art? Tell me the MFT. I missed it.
I'm thinking it's my motherfucking Tama or my motherfucking Tonga.
Yeah.
Kevin Owens jumping the shit out of him.
Oh, he jumping him?
Yep.
Good.
Got hands on. Bro, he's got hands on Tama Tonga like crazy.
Oh yeah, dude busted him open bad last week.
Yeah.
He was legit busted open.
Bro, I want a Tama Tonga KO segment.
Yes, sir, I do. After last week, but there won't be nothing but that.
Man, no. Bro, have you ever seen them in New Japan together?
No.
Man, go look that up one day. Go look up.
I will.
Go look at them shit. Oh my man, if you've never seen Tama Tonga before this,
I've seen him a couple of times, but I haven't seen him a lot.
Or if you've never seen Kevin Owens as Kevin Steen.
Oh, him as Kevin Steen he was nasty, boy.
No, Kevin Steen.
That's what I said. I'm congested. Kevin Steen.
But
I was swallowing.
But yeah, bro, those matches are bangers. When they're talking, when Sheamus and them are talking bangers, man, that's them.
Dude, I know, like, from New Japan and the Bullet Club, reading articles and stuff, Tama Tonga is like, again, I said this last night or earlier in the week, maybe, I think on the Monday show, that those Samoans, bro, are on another level as far as athleticism. You know, I mean, just look at the dude's physique. He
Yeah.
looks like a damn toy soldier with his freaking shirt taken off. That hard cut plastic stomach, we used to get on the G.I. Joes, bro. Like,
Yeah.
holy shit, this dude's built, as my granddaddy would say, a brick shit house.
Yes, sir.
He's like solid as a boulder. And he's quick and fast and very powerful. And just like every other Samoan, he's got a nasty streak in him like no other.
Oh, so we are on the clock.
Okay, I'm going to hell for the thought in my head. Remember to ask me about that off the camera.
Touche.
I'm going to hell for this thought. Just let me know.
So,
It's the best representation of this organization is all I'm going to say. And you'll get it when I tell you.
Okay.
So what's the main event for tonight? Have they announced it?
Probably, I'm going to assume Cody and Carmelo.
The Cody and Carmelo? Okay.
So I'm going to go ahead and say with our pick, we're going to take TJ Tampa.
And yeah, they're next. Unless Cowboys select him right now, that's who
Nope.
I was actually.
Nope, Dallas took Nealand.
Okay. I'm lagging on that then. But I expect either that. I mean, I don't know what edge rushers are left. I haven't seen it. But TJ Tampa's available. He's a good, solid pickup.
Yeah, TJ Tampa. I mean, come on, bro. He's built for Tampa. Even the draft prospects or the draft heads are
They
talking
had a
about
lot of
it.
people had him coming to Tampa in the second round.
Yeah, I mean, he's made for Tampa. He's made to be a Buccaneer. And if you put him in a number 24, get rid of Carlton.
Yeah.
We're getting the first overall draft pick. Bianca showing her beautiful face.
Nice. Excuse me.
Come on.
Pardon me.
Who we getting? This is where I need a duel.
Yeah.
I mean, I could pull Sling up on the phone, but I don't think damage control stays on SmackDown.
No.
The pick is in. Let's see who we're getting. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I gotta clean a dab rig tomorrow.
I need to get a new nectar collector.
No, I think my reclaim catch is kind of full.
Oh yeah.
What do you think?
Holy cow. I would say so. Look at our boys, Matt, Buck Nuts,
Oh, I see Kabuki.
Sean. Huh?
I'm watching Kabuki right now.
Kabuki. Yeah,
Yeah.
my app's tripping, so I stopped messing with it.
Sorry, it gets to some both channels right now.
You know, a lot of the times that's like
we're about to get a Jade and Bianca with against Kabuki, I think.
really. I might have to go fix that.
Dog, I hope Jay is tripping. I hope Jay's tripping. Tell me we ain't just take a kicker. Tell me Jason Light ain't getting fired for taking the kicker again.
Who?
Oh
A
shit,
kicker?
bro! Kevin Owens and Tama Tonga are beefing are fighting it out into the ring right between Kabuki and. Holy shit! Damn, bro, we're really getting a Tama Tonga and Kevin Owens fight, bro.
Good. I'm trying to turn the app back on.
KO just got jumped. Here we go.
Of course he did.
Who's coming to help him out?
Jay Uso?
No.
No, actually, it's going to be could be Jimmy Uso.
That would be
I said Jay, I meant Jimmy.
Chris Braswell.
Chris Braswell, the edge rusher. Okay. Okay.
I like that pick.
That's from Penn State, isn't he? Randy Orton.
Oh.
Let's go. Randy Orton's coming out.
I like this. Because technically, this is where Bloodline took him out. I like the fact that they're sending Randy on this journey at this point after Roman lost the title.
Hey, can we get a tag team match tonight?
No, give me that Backlash.
I mean, tonight and Backlash, yeah.
No, give me Randy and KO versus Bloodline at Backlash.
I want to see Kevin Owens and Tama Tonga at Backlash. But then again, because it's his first match, it's probably going to be a tag team match.
Here they go. Here, Kevin hugs Randy and he just says, "Fuck it, let's go get him." Randy's like, "No, bro, what the fuck?" Hey, can we get an RK bro or an RKO?
Dude, I would love an RK bro reunion.
No, RKO squared.
Oh.
Alex was talking about that a few months ago when they were teasing them together. RKO squared.
Okay, I like that.
That'd be kind of. Oh, bro, we got Dudley boys reading draft picks next.
Yep, just saw that. That's great.
Dog, I'm so happy to see them back. I'm so happy to see
It's
Devon.
a really good thing to see them back together. They were beefing for a while.
No, Dudleys have always been cool. They just weren't agreeing when it came to appearances. That's where they were.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Well,
they were beefing over like appearances and money and all that shit.
Well, it really wasn't beefing. It's just Devon couldn't.
Yeah.
Devon wasn't able to do it. And that's what he even said why he didn't show up with Bubba Ray at WrestleMania, because he couldn't have made that fucking walk there and back. That's how bad that's how bad he is at this point. And I mean,
Hey, can I point out real quick, just to go off subject, that I thought it was really cool that an edge rusher and Will Golston selected an edge rusher and Chris Braswell.
Yep.
Sorry to interrupt you. I was thinking about that when you said something. I went back to it in my head and I was like, wow, that was pretty nifty.
No, so far, bro, I like our first two picks.
Dude, I love the pick. Are you kidding me? He's an Alabama prospect, dude. Give me a break. I don't love the school, but the guys produce winners.
Well, and I was gonna say, we had talked about it before. That was the guy that I had talked about. Reminded me a lot of Will Anderson Jr.
Mm-hmm.
Like he was gonna be that sleeper pick, that sneak.
Yeah. I really like the pick.
Oh, bro, I love that pick.
Definitely. It's a definite. I think it's arguably, you can say cornerback could be a bigger need than edge rusher, but I will say that it's a 1A, 1B scenario, and I think we won. I would give us another A- on that pick.
I can't argue with our pick, either one, but I like both of them.
The Packers picked Javon Bullard, safety from Georgia. He's a solid player.
Well,
so who do you think? Who do you think the man's first challenger is going to be?
I don't. You know what? I don't think I've really sat down and thought that out. I mean, there's.
I mean, as far as deserved, because they're winning and they earned their shot.
If you want my number one thought, Liv Morgan.
That gives you a quick reaction to be able to figure out a better game plan to build a program with.
Well, I could see Liv.
They've got history in beef.
I do believe Becky is the placeholder for Liv to get her title back, but I believe it's gonna be Becky doesn't just often lose it. It'll be, she loses it the first time. Maybe she goes through a couple of these girls before, these new girls beforehand. Within that time frame, and then Liv comes back around and does, just everybody gets behind her. So I think Becky's a transition to Liv. It's just not going to be right off kilter like we would maybe expect.
Just when you think C.J. Stroud wasn't going to carry the Texans even higher, they went and picked up Blake Fisher from Notre Dame. That's a great pickup for them, dude.
Oh, brother. This draft right here was just deep within the first, 3 rounds I think we talked about.
The first 3 rounds, if you pick a player, you're probably going to get a winner.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think when we had talked about it a month or so ago. But, hey,
they're fixing to pick on WWE right now.
Yep.
We want tables. Look at him putting the glasses on. I love the Dudley Boys. First pick, 3rd round. SmackDown selects LA Knight. Yeah. I like that pick.
Let's see.
Look, I'm sorry, but that's cheesy.
What?
You'll see it. They're going to the draft war rooms. They really trying.
Bro, they got Teddy Long in there.
Yeah, I seen that. JBL and Teddy Long.
Bro.
Huh?
They really got fucking Teddy Long in that bitch.
Yeah, Teddy Long and JBL sitting back there with his big ass cowboy hat.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. I want Teddy Long back.
Dude, Teddy Long was probably my favorite GM.
I don't know in what capacity. I would love to see general manager. I just don't know if I would rather it be SmackDown again, or if I'd love to see him take over Raw, especially when he goes to Netflix.
The Bloodline SmackDown as a whole: Tama Tonga, Solo Sikoa, and Paul Heyman.
But Roman Reigns is involved.
There was a rumor that him and The Rock were appearing tonight, and I was like, really?
No.
That was an old rumor.
No, the
Sheamus
Rock's
got
doing
picked
his
up by
thing.
Raw. Excuse me. Speaking of Sheamus, what did you think about all the hate and BS that the wrestling universe and community was giving Sheamus because of his physique?
I mean, you can't expect anything less these days with the internet wrestling community. I will say
It's tippy time.
the one thing I do love about Drew McIntyre is they're allowing him to creative freedom on the mic, and you get to have like these moments to where he's taking the internet and bringing it in, and he, calling him the Burger King, telling him we used to have banger after banger after banger, and now you just looks like you're having burger after burger. Like, it was cool to see that. It was cool to
Yeah.
see that brought to light, and it like brought in. But at the same time, I don't know really how I feel about how they're doing. I don't know. I think maybe it is just a different way that they're connecting.
Yeah.
Like, as much as I don't like it, I do like it
Yeah.
because I love how Sheamus is responding to it. I love how it's building off of it because, bro, even he responded. Get your laughs in now because they called me back earlier. They called me back early.
Yeah.
He wasn't supposed to be back till the draft.
Yeah, he was actually a few weeks early. His recovery from that injury really healed quick. But look, the guy was injured, so he didn't spend day in and day out working out, and that's what keeps their bodies looking like that.
It wasn't that. It was the fact of Roman and Rock were leaving early. You had a slew of minor injuries to some of your top people that, they kind of had to hold back. So you needed somebody to fill in because they expected CM Punk to still be around. Like, this is part of where they're filling in that void.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because this is where, we were supposed to have a CM Punk and Drew McIntyre beat, a feud for the heavyweight title.
Yes.
So now you are going to get a rematch with Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest. McIntyre is going to capture the title. And then you're going to get the CM Punk beef, which is going to transition to CM Punk for a minute. Which then you're going to have quite a few title contenders at that moment. And I think that's going to be around I think when the Netflix era kicks off, you're going to get CM Punk, and we're going to get an unscripted version of him. It's going to be fucking phenomenal.
That would be great.
Because I do believe they're going to go a lot more like off script. I'm not going to say off script, but it's going to be a lot more uncut. It's going to be interesting to see if it's going to be uncensored.
Yeah.
So.
Well, for me, the void, I expect CM Punk back probably in a month or so, maybe 2. I don't think it's going to be too much longer, but again, at the same time, going back to what I said, those guys work out literally every day. They're working out and doing simple things like dips and push-ups and pull-ups and walking, doing speed runs back and forth to try to keep their physique in shape, keep their stamina up. When these guys go out with these legitimate injuries, they have to rest and recuperate, and it takes time to be able to get that. Just like a football player, it takes time to be able to get that on-field speed back. It takes time for them to get the speed and their physique and everything back, especially, like you said, if they're pushed back to coming early.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? Speaking of early, we are going to cut kind of early because we both are having to take care of some stuff. I appreciate you joining. We are going to be going live at 7 p.m. on Monday. We will go ahead and recap the rest of the draft for the Pancakes, and we'll recap night 1 of the draft for the WWE, and we'll prepare for night 2.
Absolutely. And if you want to go throughout on Monday for Raw for the live, I'm more than willing to do that as well. You know, continue through the draft. So that's something else we could be looking for.
Okay, yeah, we can do that. But I appreciate it, and I had fun. And until
Love
Monday,
it, dude. Every time. Until next Monday. See ya. Have a great weekend.
Sir.